Hello, everyone. How are you tonight? Hope y'all can hear me okay.
Are you by yourself, Tim?
Yep.
I'm coming.
Let's see here. Hello. Who was first? Somebody was first. Somebody different. Couldn't believe somebody different. They beat Douglas in here. He's been pretty fast lately. Deb Rick, hello, Topic Canada. Douglas, Helen, Eric Iron Buns, how you doing? Midwest Capades, Bobby and Chris. Helen, hello, overseas lady. Hope everybody's doing well. Doing well. Betty Boop. Ivy Lane, hello. Tracy Cakes in her flipping side. There she is. Hello, Tracy. Hey, Barbecue. How you doing, brother?
Watch out, Layla. Move
Yep,
over
Deb
a little
was
bit.
first.
Move over a little, over this way by your donut.
You have a U.S. address? That's pretty cool.
I'm not going to sit on your donut.
Hello, Avery's. Oh, look what I found.
Hello, everyone. I was going to sit out. I was just going to let the boys be on, but Timothy's all by himself. So how's everybody doing? What's going on?
Hello, Dottie.
Our day was
very action-packed.
Action-packed, yes. We went and picked up a storage unit.
Hi, Vicky. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. We went and we won one yesterday. We went there, met the guy. He unlocked it, started walking away. She tried to open the door, couldn't quite get it open, so I helped her open it up, and we both went, oh. We thought it was a 5x5. Boy, were we wrong.
It wasn't a 5x5. And there was, hello, Dottie. There was a lot of stuff in it. We are really, really trying to get at least one storage unit a week.
Hi, Pam. Hi, Ann.
So
Vicky.
So we got, is that our first one this week?
That's our first one this week.
It's Wednesday.
We got outbid on a couple yesterday that we were trying for, and we bid on this one. We actually talked to him before we bid on it and got a little information on it. So we bid on it, and yeah, went there.
And the reason we called was because it was listed as a manager special non-lean unit.
Yes.
And most of the time when you buy a storage unit, if it says manager special non-lean unit, that usually we have run into the case, and you'll hear it from other people that buy storage auctions.
Hi, Jim and Beth.
The storage facilities a lot of times will clean out storage units like themselves, and they throw everything into a storage unit that probably employees don't take or whatever, and then they sell it as a manager's special. And we actually bought one time not realizing, and then when we cleaned it out, and this was when we first started, quit moving. Tim, you're gonna make everybody seasick.
Whoa.
When we started cleaning out that storage unit, it was like a lot of toys, and pieces and parts did not match up.
Nothing matched.
Things didn't make sense. It was, and then when we looked at the listing again and we did more research and found out more stuff, we found out, and more research, don't buy.
Hey, Roy and Lisa.
But we tried, and the people that we called them back, or they called us back, and they were really nice and they were honest, and they told us the whole situation with the storage unit.
The other thing with a non-lean unit that can happen is somebody can get a hold of the facility and say, hey, I'm not going to pay on my unit anymore. You can go ahead and, sell it or whatever. And that's also comes up as a manager special non-lien unit because they didn't have to go through the process of filing all the paperwork and trying to get money from the people. So those are the two things. And we found out that it was somebody's unit. So, yeah. Hello, brother. From another mother.
Here I am.
There he is.
Hello.
How you
How are
doing?
you?
Look at that storage brat hat he's got on.
Nice, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
It's awesome.
We have actually finally decided to get we just picked a treasure chest off the internet that we used for our logo on the YouTube channel and other places. And we finally decided to get a design made for t-shirts, stickers, whatever. So finally.
Hey, look at that doll.
What's
grandbaby's that?
Penelope.
Oh, I love
Ah.
that name.
I like it. Hello, Lisa.
You got her for Christmas?
Yeah.
She's really, really cute.
Hi, everyone.
So how's the yard sale setup coming?
We're gonna go do a yard sale. I think Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or something like that.
So with living down south, do you find you probably get a lot of business? You probably don't even have to worry, do you?
No, you can yard sale here year round. The flea markets are all open year round. Everything.
Wow.
Nice.
So are you guys just trying to clean out that shed? Is that
Hey,
PJ? Hi, PJ.
We're just trying to do everything. We just got to get rid of a bunch of stuff
Yeah.
so we can start over. Purge and start over. You know how how to do it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. Got somebody in the back room here. Hello.
My brother.
My brother.
Guys.
My brother.
What's up, man?
Oh, we are doing what we do.
Understand?
Understandable, man.
It's it's been an interesting time in my life, I'll tell you that. But yeah, we're hanging in there. I miss my snacks.
No, I have Layla, and that's what
I got my coffee.
I got my whatever she made me, a latte.
a latte. I'd just like to say Happy New Year to everybody. We love you all so much. Troy.
Look who's here. Look who's here, gang. Look at that. Look, they joined us.
Nikki, Troy, I love you. I'm going to let the boys just do this tonight. I have Layla, and I need to make a bed for her. So,
Christine, thank you for being you.
all right. Love you guys.
Thank
Love
you.
everybody. Come on, baby girl. You want to come in the room with Grandma? Come on.
Interesting.
The boys are back in town.
Amaretto.
Hell yeah, Morano.
Woo!
Mine's just regular old
In the room.
coffee.
You want your water too?
Well, she's making these latte things. She got this machine. She's just been having a great time with it,
Heck yeah.
I sold something today. Look at this.
That the one you were wearing in the trailer?
No, this is a different one, the one that we found in the unit. But I mean, look how nasty and dirty and stuff. All I did was wipe it off just a little bit.
That's one from the village people, ain't it?
I don't know, but $26 later,
Hey, you
Wow.
damn right you're taking that.
I said I'll send the dirt and all for that.
I'll even give you some spare. Yeah,
Right?
that's awesome, man.
Couldn't believe it. You can sell anything on eBay.
I think I got a couple hard hats I need to put on eBay then.
Uh-oh, somebody's spinning.
Like you
The
actually,
camera apparently unplugged.
Oh,
mine does that sometimes. There it is. There it goes.
Huntsman Pixie, hello. Josie.
Got a mind of its own, huh? Hey, Avery's brings up a good point. The whole market for nasty and dirty items. You ever put used underwear up there?
Yeah,
Sick
crazy.
people out there, dude.
I do know there was a time, I don't know if you can still do it or not, but you could actually buy breast milk on eBay
Yeah, I noticed they still sell that.
for athletes.
Which to me is a health hazard and shouldn't be there. But hey, you can sell breast milk, but not those little UV lights.
No fake Legos either.
God.
We watched one of those bigger guys, Harry Tornado or somebody like that sold a Carhartt jacket.
Yep.
That was nasty. I mean, nasty, dirty, greasy, had holes in it and all kinds of stuff. They sold that sucker and got good money for it.
Yep, you can sell anything, man. That's for sure.
You just can't sell me ice right now. It's too damn cold.
What's your temperature?
3.
3. Did you say 3? You forgot the second digit.
No. I honestly don't know what it is right now. I suppose I could look to be accurate. Yeah, shut up. Oh, you're right. I did forget the other digit. I'm sorry. It's 9.
On the end of her.
It's 9.
9. Wow.
9. But you look at the forecast, like for Saturday night.
Nice.
Wow.
I told you it gets cold here. It gets cold here. Yeah, you kiss my ass.
I'm 43. I'm 43 today, and
Oh my god. Hey.
Friday it's supposed to be like a heat wave.
Man, I've got the 70s and 80s all week.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, we're gonna get some snow too, I guess. I can imagine you did, Bobby. I was actually very lucky, because my sister-in-law was here. My son was over here a lot. He lives in town, but he was still here quite a bit. His girlfriend was here quite a bit. I call her my daughter-in-law because she is, as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
But they helped me take care. They still let me go out and play with Brutus, which was nice, and I enjoyed doing that. So that was fun. But yeah, they got out here and helped me take care of the snow and everything, and it's been great. As good as it can be in snow.
Right.
Right.
Snow sucks.
-4. I saw Tracy Cakes was pretty chilly.
Oh, dude, you think it gets cold here? Oh. She's not that far north of us, but as far as she is, she's probably going to be 25 below when I get to 13 below.
Wow. They got 17 inches of snow, she said.
Yeah. We got like 6.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a big difference, even just between where she's at up in northern Minnesota and where we are.
I think we got about 12 inches of sunshine today.
I suppose, yeah.
It started snowing at dinner time last night. It quit about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and there was absolutely no snow on the ground when we woke up this morning. It warmed up like into the 40s.
Maybe I do need to move to Ohio.
A lot more storage units here.
There's a lot less snow there and a lot less cold.
We got units coming off tomorrow again. I don't know if we're gonna.
Oh my god! I get to that point eventually where I think about that. It's there's a lot to think about still.
I understand that.
Well, we're getting there. We got a lot of great family members that have been helping us out, so we're getting there. We're struggling, but which is one of the reasons I did want to come on and tell, hey, Batman. It's been very quiet as far as most of the folks here on Facebook or on YouTube and things like that. And, some family members and some local people and things have been a little more boisterous with things, and that's fine. I understand that. But it has been a great response from the YouTube community to make sure that we don't get overwhelmed with messages and things. And I just wanted to say that I really appreciate that from each and every one of you. Obviously, my brother's here. I expect different things because they're my brothers here, you know. But they still have been as respectful as I could ever ask. And I just wanted to tell all of you, without having to message every single one of you, thank you, because it's been as helpful as it can be during these times. Thank you.
I understand. Love you, man.
Oh, I love all of you too. I really do. You know, I know everybody says it. I've heard so many people say it out in our community how even their significant other just doesn't understand how you can care so much about people that you only ever see on a computer screen. And they're not wrong, because if you don't experience this, you don't understand it.
Right.
But when you do experience it, it's really something like no other. It really is. And it's almost to the point where it's unfathomable. And there's a lot for me to say, and there's a lot more things that I probably should say, and there's probably some things that I shouldn't say. So it's probably better I limit what I do talk about. But the announcements have been officially made. Newspaper articles, things like that are going out. Her services will be held January 22nd. The church stuff will be more for family and immediate closest relatives and things like that, for COVID reasons, if no other reason, because there's still an astronomical amount of that crap going around. And we've got a lot of elder family members that we have to make sure are taken care of, yet they can still come and pay their last respects to my wife. So we're limiting the church to family and invited folks and that kind of thing, just for safety purposes. But afterwards, we've rented a hall that'll, if we sat people down, it would seat over 400. We've got lots of room for everybody to be there. We're going to have some food there for people, smaller food, nothing buffet style or big sit down meals or anything like that, but smaller sandwiches. And we're going to have foods individually packaged, thanks to a wonderful friend here that I have in town, Midwestcapades, Bobby and Chris. They're going to individually package up a lot of the foods so that it's all COVID safe as it can be. A few drinks. We're going to have, my son's putting together a fantastic presentation on the screen. So we'll have that playing. Memory books, picture walls, all that great stuff is going to be there. So she can be sent off in style, if you will, like she deserves. So if there are folks in the community that are planning on coming 11 a.m. at the Norwood Inn and Suites, 101 Sky Harbor Drive in La Crosse, that is where the celebration of life will happen. And that is open to anyone that doesn't want to cause trouble or that's carrying COVID around. Yeah. Hey, good news. I found a buyer for her car. So we're going to get that taken care of tomorrow. The car will be sent on to its next home. There's one less thing I have to worry about, one less bill I'll have to pay. So there's that. Thank you, Huntsman. Appreciate y'all. Green to red, thank you. It's, yeah. That's the other thing. Hopefully it don't snow that day.
Yeah, the snow issue, man.
Yeah, it makes travel interesting up here, I'll tell you that. But the good news is a lot of people that live in the north are used to the snow. My sister-in-law headed back home today, made it home today. Yes, Rob, they did find my luggage. Can I tell that story?
Yeah, let's hear this.
You want me to entertain you with that? It's a great story. You'll absolutely love it. It was, hey, there's Brenda. Hi, Brenda. Yeah, that's yeah. So we got on the plane in California, checked my bag. Everything was going according to plan. And believe it or not, in the sunny desert of California, it rained for 2 days while I was there. I'm like, really? So
in
of
the
course,
desert.
yeah, well, yeah, because Palm Springs is way out east of LA, out towards the desert. And like my brother-in-law said, he says, "Yeah, it don't rain here very much." He's lived up there since May, and they've only had a handful of days that it's rained. Thank you, Betty Boo. Appreciate you. Hey, John Beck, how are you, sir?
John.
Um, so we got on the plane, and they had delays because of the weather. It was also raining in Phoenix, which is where our first stop was. And so we took off late. We landed late. Our connecting flight to Chicago had a very small window to start with. They were actually they started boarding when we landed. So we didn't have much time. Because of my limited mobility, of course, it's hard for me to get around the airport. And one of the things that we requested was to have wheelchairs there for me to get me through the airport faster. And they didn't. And apparently somewhere between the guarantee that I was given at the gate when we left and us checking in and getting on the plane, something got lost in the translation. And it happens.
Right.
Things happen. So my son was grabbing the carry-ons. He says, "Just go, Dad, I'll catch up with you." And God bless him for being there with me, that he was carrying 4 of our carry-ons, trying to I ain't kidding you, it must have been a quarter of a mile to get to the next terminal, which is actually close by comparison to some of them. But I got to the gate, and it turns out there was 24 people that were missing off of that flight because of connector. And the pilot refused to leave. The tower was telling him, "You got to go." And he's like, "I ain't leaving without all those people. You ain't stranding them anywhere on Christmas Eve because of me." Ain't happening. So kudos to that guy.
Right.
So we get on our flight, and we head to Chicago. And it was pretty uneventful. Things were normal, whatever. And we get to Chicago, and again, we didn't have a lot of time. And this time we had to go a long ways to get to our next terminal. By the time the lateness happened, we got there with about 40 minutes before the boarding of that flight. So we had a long ways to go. And once again, there was no wheelchair, no car. If you've ever been in O'Hare, it's an enormous airport. We were on this side, and we had to be on this side.
Wow.
So we hauled the mail, and we got there time. The plane was to start boarding at 2:30. I think we showed up at 2:35. 2 hour delay. So I said, "All right, that's fine. We got time. Let's go catch our breath. Let's get a bite to eat." We went down the hallway, got a bite to eat, came back, and found out they had delayed it another hour. And it turns out the issue was there was here in La Crosse, to the point where my mom actually said, I talked to her, and she said that she couldn't see the house across the street.
Wow.
So the pilot came out, and she says, "I'm on the clock, and I can actually log hours flying until 10 o'clock tonight. So we're going to hold out. We're going to try." And she tried and tried and tried, and things got worse and worse, and it was looking less likely that we were going to be able to land. And if you know this area geographically and weather-wise, when the fog lays down in the valley at 50 degrees in the winter when there's snow on the ground, it doesn't go away till the sun comes out. So at that point, we're like, okay, we're going to go rent a car. We're going to drive home. "Can I have my bag, please?" "Well, we can't get it off the plane until the plane is canceled." I said, "You can't make any exceptions to this rule." And there were a couple other people there that were trying to do the same thing. So they decided to let us, and then proceeded to tell me that my bag never left Phoenix because we were late landing. We got on that other flight late. It never got off the other plane. Understandable. You can't unload luggage in 30 seconds or less. I get it. I'm like, I don't even care. That's fine. We'll just go home and deal with it accordingly. So I said, fine, we're just going to leave. We're going to rent a car. And we got over the rental place, which, by the way, you had to go out the terminal, over the highways, take a tram for 10 minutes out to this way out of their building on the other side of the airport. And we did that, and we found out that none of the car rental places here in La Crosse would be open on Christmas Day. So we were not allowed to rent a car. I'm like, okay, well, all right. We said, well, what are we going to do now? There was like 8 other people that were trying to do the same thing we were to come to lacrosse. They said, let's get a van. We'll all ride together. Who cares? Cool. Can't rent a car. Can't return to lacrosse. No way. No, none of us can rent a car. Okay. The good news is they hadn't canceled our flight yet. And we had about 30 minutes to get back before it would start boarding again if it would go. Back on the tram, hauling ass across, halfway across to O'Hare, which is an enormous airport, by the way. And we get back over to the terminal, and they still hadn't canceled it. So we sat down, we're waiting. The time on the flight changed 4 times within 5 minutes, and it finally said 9:30 a.m. Like, okay, we're done. Now what we gonna do? Well, can you help us get a hotel? Asked the airline. Sorry, all the hotels are booked everywhere and around. Looks like we're spending Christmas Eve at the airport. Then he says, nah, screw that. We ain't doing that. I'm like, I agree. Calls his girlfriend. She drives the 5 hours one way to get us from Chicago, or from here to Chicago. Get up the next morning, Christmas Day. My family's here. It was wonderful. I called the airline, and I asked them, how's it coming with the search for my bag? I'd really like to get that back. There's a lot of my wife's things inside of it, her cell phone, her ring, lots of other things. Yep. Here's what's going to, about a half hour, 40 minutes, the guy's calling Chicago, and he's calling Phoenix, and he's calling. He says, I got everybody on the line. Your bag is on a plane from Phoenix to Chicago, and will be at your airport at 6:30 tonight. And I thought, well, hallelujah. There is somebody, my Christmas miracle just came true.
Right.
So we get to the airport about a little after 6 o'clock. Figured we'd hang out and just wait for it. Sorry, there's an hour delay on the flight coming in.
Oh, jeez.
So we go back over to town. We get the gas station, fill the truck up, all those things. And the plane lands, luggage comes off, and my bag's not there. So I go over to now you got to remember, gang, that our airport has 1 baggage claim. It has 4 gates. It has 1 TSA line. It's small. They don't usually have people at the things unless there's a plane coming in or out. So I go over to the thing, and sure enough, there's somebody over there. I said, hey, my bag was supposed to be on this flight. It's not there. Here's my tag for it. Everything like that. He says, no, your bag's here. Where? Start walking over to the baggage claim. Here comes this lady pulling 2 suitcases. He says, well, there's your bag right there. I said, sir, that's not my bag. Sure it is. It's got your name on it and everything. The tag had my name on it and everything. I said, well, the tag's mine. But you got to remember, this was a suitcase that was gunmetal gray with copper trim. Rounded corners. Mine's a trunk. Mine's like the big old metal footlockers you used to get, like you get in storage units, with a handle, wheels and things on it, but it looks like a trunk. And it has gold trim, shiny gold trim. I said, that is not my bag. I don't care what you tell me. That still ain't my bag. I don't know whose it is, and now I feel terrible for them. Round and round and round we go. I get on the phone. I spent 2 hours on the phone with the baggage claim people, trying to give them an updated description so they could figure out how to get it right. The next morning, I'm on the phone with them again, playing 20 questions, getting left on hold for a half an hour while they're trying to call Chicago, and they're trying to call Phoenix, and they're trying to call these people. And I get a call while I'm on hold from the people at the La Crosse airport here at the American Airways terminal or desk saying, hey, we have a bag that we think belongs to you. I said, send me a picture. So they text me a picture. I'm like, yep, that's it. That's my bag. I'll be over in 15 minutes. She says, no, I got a driver right here. We'll bring it to your house. I brought it to my house. Turns out that American didn't think they'd get it on a flight in time to get it home for me. So they put it on a Delta flight out of Phoenix.
Wow.
And that went through Denver and on other places and ended up here Christmas night. It was here when I was at the airport, but Delta just didn't have time to bring it over. So they just left it sit until the next morning.
Oh, wow.
And they said to me during all of this process, they said, great. If something happens to your bag, you can always file a claim and turn in receipts for the value of the contents of your bag. Sure. What value do you put on the pictures that are on my wife's cell phone? I said, how do I value her wedding ring? How do I value all of these belongings that she had? I said, notwithstanding my CPAP machine, the shoes that I had in there, this, that, and the other thing, I said, you're looking at just a monetary value alone of over $5,000. Now, the mental value, the emotional value of these pictures and things, I said, I'm going to be coming after you for $250,000. Up to you. I said, it won't be small claims court anymore. We'll be having lawyers involved. Your choice. Next thing you know, my bag was here and everything worked out for the best. And I am grateful for those that did work with me. Many of the people that I talked to on the phone and everything worked their tails off to try to help me. And I appreciate that.
Right.
That's grouping. It's my old stale candy corn. So hopefully that gives you guys some of the idea of what we went through on that trip. It was a lot.
You couldn't have made that up.
No. I literally told the guy, I said, you could not sit down and write a worst case scenario and come up with half of what we went through.
And he wouldn't even give me the number.
No. Because I know better. Let me say it this way, Mickey. If push came to shove and they flat out come out and told me, hey, you know what? We don't know where the bag is. There's nothing else we can do. You would have had the number and I would have had my bag. I guarantee that. However, at that time, I needed to let the system take its course in the event that they did have it and they could get it back to me. And let's face it, if I would have went off on them like you would have went off on them, they probably would have cared. They probably have buried my bag out in the tarmac just to keep it from us from wringing somebody's neck.
Probably.
I would have had to have bail money for you too.
You wouldn't have. Oh, dude. We probably wouldn't have had any bail set.
It'd have been fun though.
My brother, I would never go to battle with anybody before you. It would have been amazing.
It'd have been great.
Good news is we get to save it for another day.
That's right.
It feels good to be on here with you guys. It really does. I'm very happy I'm here. I was very apprehensive about it. And it's very painful because the last video that I watched was our giveaway night. And it's very hard, but I'm glad I did it. I really am. Thanks to you guys and all of you in the
I'm
chat.
glad you come on with us.
Yeah.
No, we wouldn't have had to storm the airport. The airport would have stormed us.
They would have sent FAA people to our houses saying, could you please knock it off? Please, we're begging you. We'll give you anything. Just stop. Oh yeah, I told them at the airline. I said, you left me with no wheelchair. You left me with all these things, to deal with on my own. They said, well, if you would have told your flight attendant, they would have had the chair there for you. I said, okay, fair enough. I would have told the flight attendant if your terminal person didn't guarantee me the chairs would be waiting. You guaranteed me. Why should I think that I have to do anything else if you guarantee me that the chair will be there waiting for me?
Right. Yeah.
I guarantee that car's mileage. I guarantee. Well, if you would have just drove it the right way, if you would have, no. No.
I can't believe the rental car companies didn't have it in their heart to say, hey, return the car, Sunday.
Well, here's the thing is they said that we could return the car to another facility. I said, great. What are my options? Thinking, an hour away in Rochester, maybe even an hour and a half away in Eau Claire.
Okay, right.
They said your choices are Green Bay, which is 4 hours, Appleton, which is 3.5 hours, and
What?
Chicago, which is where we were in the first place.
Are they lunatics?
Yes, they are.
I mean, that's crazy.
They really are. They are absolutely insane. And I would have said to myself, okay, if it would have been one rental company, maybe they just don't have the staff to be at a small airport right here.
Right.
Okay, I'll give you that. But this was 5 rental companies, including Enterprise, that not only has a place at La Crosse Airport, but also downtown. But the Hertz rental place literally told us that you could rent a car from Hertz here, but you can't return it here. I said, so let me get this straight. If I rent a car for a day trip, I say, well, my car is on the fritz or it's in the shop, and I'm going to rent a car from you guys. Maybe my car is in the shop getting fixed. I need a car for 2 days. I can go to the airport here and rent it, but I can't return it here. I would have to drive to one of these other cities to return the car.
Wow.
I am like, what is wrong with you people?
That is bizarre.
I've never seen such a thing.
I mean, I've rented cars before where you take the car back, you drop the key in the drop box, and go.
Exactly.
Right.
And if they have an issue with the amount of fuel that's in it, or if there's damage to it, they contact you and you work through it accordingly.
Yep.
The way it's always been.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Not if you live here.
That's crazy. I mean, that you're right, Ian's mom. It is stupid. That's.
Yeah.
I never heard of such.
You shouldn't give me the rental cars company name. No.
Trust me, at that point, I was in such a bad state. I just wanted to get home and curl up in my bed and go to sleep.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad that
We literally started at 3:00 in the morning out in California.
I'm glad that my niece-in-law come and got you.
Yeah, that's very true. And you can call her that. And I'll tell you something. My son's girlfriend, and I call her my daughter-in-law. She's an absolute trooper. She said, I had my energy drink about to the Wisconsin Dells, and I'm ready. And she drove all the way till 2:00 in the morning to get home. I'm like, I've had an hour to rest in the back here. If you need a break, especially with the fog coming up, let me know. Take a break. We'll go from rest area to rest area if we have to get home.
Right.
I got this. She was amazing. And I am so proud to call her, whether they have the paper or not that says it. They've been together for quite a while, and I'm damn proud to have her as part of my family.
She drove both ways.
Yeah.
Wow.
10 hours. 10
What a
hours.
trooper.
And you think about that fog that was here, that stretched from here all the way to Madison.
Yeah.
And she drove through it like it was, whatever. I'm like, She was amazing, dude. I'm gonna tell you. And of course, you think about as hard as my son was working to make sure that I was taken care of, that he was at his wit's end. I mean, he's usually the more level-headed one and gives me a hard time because of the nature of my personality. When things get ugly, when things strike home, when somebody lashes at me, I lash back. I really do. In fact, I almost got kicked out of the hospital down there because I lashed back. We won't go into that. That doesn't matter. But the point being is he was the one calling the airline. He was the one that was losing his temper. I was the one sitting back going, son, let's just get home. These people are working on Christmas Eve. They've gotten each one of these terminals has 10,000 people. It has to go through it in the next 6 hours. We have to cut them some slack too.
Right.
And he says, I'm not going to say it, but he said, I don't care.
Right.
And that's very uncharacteristic of him, to give you an idea of how strung out and frustrated he was with the day. And I understand why he was, because I was too. But for somebody like me, see, look what Bobby wrote. Mike did that. Wow. She knows that's not his personality. Actually, that to be my personality, Bobby, and you know damn well that it is. Yeah, the pilot told us that they basically needed a half a mile of visibility to be able to land the plane here properly. And I think it's probably mostly because it's surrounded by water. I understand. And I get that. And we didn't blame the pilot, and we understood what the airline's stance was. And our thought process was, okay, let's go with plan B. Let's fly to Madison. It's only 2 hours from home. Let's fly to Rochester. It's only an hour from home. Just give us one of these flights and we'll jockey accordingly and everything will be fine. They were all shut down too. Like the closest we could get might have been Minneapolis, which is still so it's like by the time we got a flight, got on the plane, flown up there, she could have drove to Chicago and been done. Now I will say something else that's very important to me. There's a couple people that are fairly nearby when this happened. It's Robert's ride along and Anna. And they offered to come get us. And the theory we had at one point was to have Robert come and get us, drive us to Madison, then that she would meet us there. The problem is by the time we got to that point, she would have gotten to Madison the time he got to Chicago. And then she would have had to sit in Madison and wait for us.
Right.
So at that point, it just didn't make any sense to involve anybody else. So they did offer, and it was incredibly kind of them to do so. As many of you other folks have you've told me, hey, if I would live closer, I'd have been on the freeway in 10 minutes, and that's wonderful. They're great people that do that, and I was very appreciative of that. But none of it made sense. I even had people in Chicago offering to put us up for the night. And again, it's incredibly appreciated that they would do that. But at the same token, it was Christmas Eve. And I know they all have families and they have plans. And the fact of the matter is our Christmas was already ruined. Okay. There's just no other way to put it. We did not want to ruin anybody else's Christmas. Shush. You need to go over there. And I know people say, well, you're not ruining our Christmas. You're like family to us. And they're not wrong. They're not wrong. But it's still a burden that nobody else needed. It really is. And that's fine. We're just grateful that we have the people that have been watching out for us and all the things that they've been doing. No, they weren't subscribers, Shauna. The people that showed up at the hospital were friends that we made back in about 2006 or 2008. We met them through the Pokemon trading card game. They used to live up near the Minneapolis area. We'd drive up there every other weekend and do tournaments, and we'd meet them and see them. But they now have moved their residence to a small town somewhere near Phoenix. I don't remember exactly where. And they actually were in Phoenix that day when I called them. Because I thought, even though we hadn't talked for a while, there was a little bit of a falling out between Tim and I. It happened, Still my brother, still care.
What?
Wanted them to know because they'd stayed at our house 100 times. We'd stayed at their house 100 times, and we owed it to them.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, well, we'll be on the road in 15 minutes. I said, road to where? They said, Palm Springs. And I said, well, how far away are you? They said, like 6 hours. I'm like, no, you don't need to drive all the way here. They're like, no, we do. And they did. And it was amazing. And of course, they got there and they'd forgotten their cards and they couldn't get into the hospital anyway. And then the one security guard decided that after 3 days of my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, my son and I all being in the room with my wife and everything, that we were limited to 2 visitors. Now that we were pulling the plug. Anyway, they wouldn't have been able to get in the room anyway, but they were there. It was nice out. We stayed outside. We went outside, spent time with them. We had dinner with them. They helped transport us around to get to a hotel. It was great. And it was wonderful to see them.
That's nice of them. For sure.
I mean, they've been through a lot of tragedies with us. They were here for my son's graduation, and then my dad died. And they were here. They were here for my daughter's graduation. They've been here for, so many things. When he was in the hospital needing a kidney transplant, I was one of the first people on the list to sign up. Fortunately, his brother was a perfect match, and he's been doing since. It worked out. It worked out for the best. We've got a reconnection with our friends, and we're happy.
Nice.
Yeah, good stuff. Oh, Christmas gift for my daughter. It's a Boba Fett mouse pad.
Nice.
Oh,
I got that from her for Christmas. So I got to get these ones taken out and get that one put in. So that'll be cool. I'll have that. Yeah, Shauna, I get it. That was it's a COVID thing, and I get that, and I understand they can't have a billion people running around the hospital. Which all, and they are very strict about masks and things out there. They really are, and I understand. You got the biggest populated state in the country, and there's a lot of people out there, and I understand that, and they got to make sure they follow the rules. According to the nurses, they say that the rules are bent when it's the intensive care unit, the things that she was in. And then what it is. But she'll be on her way home next week, hopefully, and then we move on to the services. We've got just about all the arrangements tied up and finished, ready to go. And we got to figure the rest of it out. It's going to be tough. My daughter has told me that she's very willing to sit in the chair that my wife sat in and be a part of the various things that we do. And that's cool. Whether that's going to happen or not, I don't know. I don't know.
right.
Yeah, and I know it sucks, Sean. I get it. That's the way it is. No, and I appreciate that. I really do. I know you guys are wonderful. What done there. I miss Q. How are you?
I miss Q.
Yeah, it would have. It's just one of them things where we kind of needed the family to be the ones circling those wagons at that time. So, yeah, that's what we got to do. And I had a pretty rough night for the first time last night, and my brother and my sister were there, and that was great. They were there when I needed them, and it helped. I didn't express my appreciation for the help, but they were there, and it did help. So there's that. Is there going to be a lot more tough days coming? You better believe it. A long ways to go. But
You have a lot of family here for you.
I know I do. That's also why I wanted to come on here tonight. I knew you guys were making the ship move forward, and I wanted to show you my appreciation for that, and to let everybody know you ain't got rid of me yet. Still here.
I'm glad you shared the suitcase story with us because I was curious a little bit.
Dude, you thought I had gray hair before.
I was like, all I could think of is because I said I heard that you was on the phone with and I was like, oh no. I said, oh man, he's going to be reaching through that phone strangling people.
I just could not believe. I just could not believe. Hi.
Hey, welcome back.
I could spend 12 hours straight talking to you and you'd leave and pop back on the screen and I'd still smile.
Yeah, because we do that.
That's right.
That's what we do.
You always make me laugh. I do that. Yeah, I appreciate that, Mr. Doug. I really do. And I feel a little bit bad about asking everybody to kind of leave me alone. Because there's a lot of people that do care, and the way that they can extend their way to try to help is to try to be there for me, and it's great. It really is. It really is great to know that. And I know if some of you all feel like you're having to sit on your hands and do nothing while this all happens. And I got to be honest with you. Yeah, I know it is Huntsman, and my son and I have to revamp my theater. We're going to watch every episode one day. We got it all planned out. But we need the time to process things the way we do. And as many hugs as I could use right now, I also got to remember one too many hugs is going to break my back.
Douglas, that sounds like something that would happen to me.
Me too.
How did you do that, Douglas?
Well, I can't understand what happens, man. I walk into my Weight Watchers meeting with a large pizza in this hand and a bottle of soda in this hand, and they tell me to get the hell out, fatty.
Right.
I don't know what happened.
Wow.
That's Doug. I'm very impressed with that. Thank you for sharing that with us. That's amazing. But I do need to make sure that I go through this in my own way and on my own. And I gotta tell you this one, gang. This is part of the reason why. There's a few people out there that have the best intentions in the world, but when they get into crisis mode to help somebody, their foot goes to the floor and it doesn't come up.
Wow.
That's what we really needed tonight. That's amazing.
Oh,
I can see that now.
And I'll bet you $5 the leader that was once a heavy person that became thin was the first one to grab an M&M.
that's so funny because my granddaughter has Hungry Hungry Hippo and she likes us to get down on the floor and play it with her.
Tell her only if she puts M&Ms in it.
I'll tell her that next time we do it. Oh, that's so funny.
That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. But we had one of our friends that came to the house and came in and they're like when Mike and I were still gone. And God bless her for being here when my daughter and my daughter-in-law were here holding the fort down on their own while we did what we did.
Mm-hmm.
But wouldn't take no for an answer. And it gets to the point where it's making it more painful when you have to tell somebody back off. You know what I mean? So to avoid any situation like that where 99% of the people are great and that one person just wants to help too much, that it becomes worse than better. I didn't want to have that happen. I didn't want anybody to feel that way, and I didn't want to be put in that position.
Right.
We asked for what we asked for the respect of the family, for them to deal with this accordingly. And you guys were amazing to me, and I can't thank you enough. And we've still got a lot to go through, so I'm still going to ask that if you do want to message me, please do it in a very limited fashion, please. A message here, a message there, great. If there's something in particular you need to know, you can ask. But if you're going to just message me every hour, how you doing, how you doing, how you doing, you okay, you okay, you okay, same rules apply. Okay, I can't swing that. Tomorrow I've got to go to the dry cleaners. I've got to get that car signed and sold and out of here. I got some groceries that I have to get for my daughter and I. We've got housework to do. We've got clothes to go through. If you've seen my wife's shoe collection, we got work to do.
Right.
We got a lot of things still on our plate, and our time is very limited because there's only so many hours in the day.
I
Not
think
to mention
that's
20 below zero weather coming. So, we're yeah. Mr. Pizza Guy, is that what you mean, Green Dread?
Yep.
Is it Mr. Pizza Guy? Say again, Mr. Pizza Guy. Who ordered the large cheese and pepperoni? Right here, dude. Yeah, that may happen, Eric. I don't know yet. We'll see. My son is still very animated about me not selling a lot of things, but I'm working on it.
I agree with your son right now.
Yeah.
That's me.
Well, here's why though, Mickey, and maybe this will help you to the same place that I'm trying to get my son to. Is if the time comes where I decide that a new location for me is going to be warranted,
Mm-hmm.
the less I have to move, the better.
Right.
And it takes up a lot of room. There's a lot of stuff. And yes, it's one of the things that I would hang on to more than 80 or 90% of the other things in the house. I get that. My son will be able to take anything that he feels the need to keep. But for the most part, it's stuff. It also is memories that I have with my wife that I have here, I don't need here.
Right.
Right.
So those things can be moved forward. And let's face it, with the amount of things that we have and what it would do to help us with a move, there's that as well. We'll see. The only thing that's certain right now is nothing is certain. I've been given an opportunity to do things differently now and maybe even start a different chapter.
Well, you start to stuff around a chapter of Barbecue Pit Boys.
I thought about that. I did. I actually thought about it one time doing a chapter. There'd be a chapter of 1 or 2. And then I'm sure there'd be locals that would do it. But honestly, it's really going on somebody else's name. That's not me.
Well, we could start the regular Fat Boys Barbecue Club.
Now that I could get behind that 100. I could get behind that 100.
We could have the regular Fat Boys and the Tim Barbecue Club.
Tim and the Fat Boys Barbecue.
There you go.
I think we could get. We might.
Yeah.
You do have good ideas. Of course, it's about 6 hours early for you to have good ideas.
Right.
Hey, Roy, how you doing, buddy?
Here's the thing, gang. No, I don't, but thank you, Batman. I have one. Actually, I have several. I got a lot of chapters to get through. I'm going to be Hi Horizon. Oh, there you go. Look at those.
These will be coming to a Batman mic near you soon.
That's right. That's where they go. Everything backed goes to Batman Mike. We've got to get through finishing up what we've started here. We've gone through so much. My family's been so incredibly helpful. We've got a long ways to go to get through that. We'll get her home next week, get her settled. We've got the services to go through. I got a lot of paperwork to do, as you can imagine. And nobody's willing to work with me on anything without having the certificates. Right. They won't even talk to me. I'm like, really? My name's on the account. Doesn't matter. Well, excuse me. I didn't realize if my name's on the account, I have no say in it. Literally, I looked up one bank account that says unavailable. How's that work? Anyway.
Wow.
When we'll get through all that stuff, and then we will, think about what our next move is. When we'll get to that point, we'll be here. Oh, that was much better. I drank this way too fast. Brenda asked how my mom is doing with all of this. My mom's a tough old girl. She really is. And of course, she was, when the news first broke, I told her we were going to California and everything, what happened. She loved my wife very dearly, probably even more than me. I mean, she loved her, my wife, more than she loved me, because I'm an asshole. Hey, Tender. Yeah, I have 20 copies coming so far. She was devastated, of course, and was feeling the grief with me and trying to make sense of it. But Mom's memory is starting to go, and she actually thought we got home. Like I called her and told her we were flying out Friday morning. So then she called me Thursday and asked me what time we landed. Well, Mom, we don't leave till tomorrow morning. Oh, I thought you were coming home already. Oh, not till tomorrow, Mom. Oh, okay. Well, normal stuff. 80-year-old woman. It's normal stuff. It happens. But she's a trooper. She's been here to help me, and that's great. I'm happy that she's here, and she was here on Christmas. We got her fed real good. Got her nice earrings, and I bought her a really nice golden opal pendant for her to wear on her chain.
Nice.
Good stuff. What have you guys been doing when I've been gone?
That's normal. Us, me,
Yeah,
sleeping late and
talking smart.
We've been buying storage units.
I heard that earlier when I was in and out of the house here when you first started up.
We got, I don't know, 2 or 3 last week, a couple of weeks before.
Wow, you've been busy.
1 this week so far.
You've been busy.
Oh yeah.
Hi, Princess.
And we bought some. We went to. They got a store down the road from us, about less than a mile. That they buy semi loads of pallets, and then they sell the stuff in the store. Well, they had these mystery boxes, and she went down and bought one, brought it home, and we went through the box and stuff. I think the video's up tonight, but
I did catch a glimpse of it when I was trying to walk in front of the TV to look for things. But
$30 box, $800 worth of retail.
nice.
ooh,
You can't. You know what I mean? That's crazy. So
yeah.
we got a couple more.
Anna, the answer to your question is no, it did not. I'm struggling a lot. I figure in another 3 or 4 days I'll probably be recovered from flying. But it's been miserable.
Well,
They did let me go. They did let me go out and play with Brutus last night, but not for very long because even my enormous snowblower that can go through, the 4-foot drifts that the plows put up. Yeah, I can cut through those. Even with Brutus out there, it was hard for me to just be on my feet that long. So it's been physically challenging, and I don't know if I'm ever going to fly again just because of it. It was so hard on my body.
The flying.
But I fit in the seats. I squeezed in there. They had to get in a belt extension for me and all that stuff. And when we landed after 2.5 hours, I was in all I could do just to stand up and get off the plane. It was hard.
Right.
Which is why I was supposed to have the wheelchairs waiting for me, which they said I never arranged. Even though they guarantee. I really should have shot a video of that. So you're telling me I can get on the plane and there'll be a wheelchair waiting for me? Yes, I guarantee there will be. I swear. Oh God. Yep, I've heard a lot about those things happening. Yeah, they are difficult. You spent $30 on that box and there's $800 of the stuff in it. Are you serious? That just processed through my brain. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Wow. And you haven't gone down and bought the rest of them yet?
Oh, we got 2 more.
Why only 2?
That's all they had.
Oh, okay. So you did buy the rest of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
You take a chance. I mean, that's
And-
what,
You remember that pallet I bought?
videos are coming.
Yeah, I bought that pallet on a complete whim, and
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding.
all right.
Looking at some neat things for this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tracy said she'll take one, ship it to her.
I'll give you $35 for it. Right. Rise and pick snows. Yeah. That's the thing. If you got your money sitting in your pocket, how much money are you making off of it? Whereas if you're buying things with that money, you're able to make money. Yeah, that is me, Mr. Patrick Murphy, sir. That is one of the few ringtones that I have that I can actually hear. So I use that one. Because it's loud. And man, did people get pissed off on the airports.
I can hear it all the way in South Carolina.
Exactly.
I know I can hear it.
Well, you're between us. You better sure if he can. Okay, sounds good, Anna. Yeah, like when we got on the plane I think it was to leave here, I was putting on my brand new headphones that I bought because for some dumb reason I didn't pack mine. And I bought some in the airport and I was trying to hook them up to my phone and the thing went off. We were still on the ground. The thing went off and she's like, "So you need to put those headphones in and turn it on Bluetooth." I'm like, "Why don't you calm down there, little Hitler?" That is exactly what it is, Patrick. You got it exactly right. You wouldn't believe how many people don't know that. That's exactly what it is. The hail. Mhm. Why do you have a whistle on your phone? That's not a whistle. It's good stuff. Ugh.
That's better than the damn storm when you had
You didn't like the weather one?
the storm warning.
Those poor people at that flea market.
Oh my!
They,
Receiving.
the fact that there was weather about an hour away from there with hail and damaging winds had those people just in arms.
Oh my!
Oh
That's
my
crazy.
gosh. Oh yeah. Yes, he does. He knows his Star Trek. Yeah, I bet Chris got it again too. Yeah, tell her she's welcome. We're glad to send you.
Tracy Cakes, that would have been funny.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know if that gal would have had enough intelligence to learn sign language, but anyway, we won't go into that. I don't want to ridicule the people for the most part. Like for example, in Palm Springs when we were there, and I got to the wheel. They said wheelchair, yes, please. They pushed me up to the front of TSA to go through my checks. They didn't have to go through my bags. They just scanned them. The Palm Springs airport has TSA in the building, open courtyard outside. They even have a smoking section in their courtyard. If you can believe that.
Wow!
Inside the airport.
Wow!
Yeah.
Nice.
And then they have the terminals inside, again, on the other side of the courtyard. And then outside of there is the tarmac where you have to walk out to your plane and get on.
You got to walk to your plane.
Huh?
You got to walk to your plane.
Correct.
Wow!
And you know how they have the ramp or the steps outside that you go up to the plane? Yes, that's
Right.
what they had.
Wow!
And God bless the man's name was Sam. I don't know what company, of his third party company or whatever, but he walked through the airport or through the outside courtyard and then inside and then outside to the plane, holding an umbrella over me and pushing me with one hand, all 300 pounds of me with one hand to keep me dry because it was raining 2 days, the days that I happened to be in California.
Wow!
It was amazing. There were so many good stories of people that were on these flights as well.
Understand?
Thank you, Danny. I appreciate that.
That's good to hear, though. You know.
Well, and I try to call everything that I see.
Yeah.
You know, when we went to Minneapolis and we were there, they said they'd have a car waiting for me to take me across because we had a long ways to go to get from one place. Well, we had 2 hours. Okay. The person that picked us up on those little electric carts, effort-wise, tried. English-wise was difficult. We didn't have a gate number printed on our tickets of where we were supposed to be. We knew it was in the G-Wing. That's all we knew. And again, a Minneapolis airport has grown by leaps and bounds in the last several years. She says, oh, G1, you G1. I'll take your word for it. We're G1. She drops us off. I can't go no farther. Thank you. We look at the gate. This one says Montana or something. I'm like, well, that's how it's supposed to be. So we go over to the board and we look. And we asked her to stop at the board so we could look to see what flight we were on. And she didn't want to stop. So we were G1. We were in G14. And G14 was 3/4 of a mile.
Wow!
And I had to walk.
You're getting ready for a marathon, are you?
Well, it felt like it. And they have the moving walkways.
Right.
So that helped. We tried. There it is. Yeah, hey, I got one of those right here.
Oh boy!
Yeah. Thanks
Douglas
to
asked.
Thanks to Batman Mike.
I don't have one. You believe that?
Well,
It's not our fault Batman didn't send you one.
Batman Mike never gave me one of those big gummy bears.
but you know what else we got?
You hear that, Batman Mike?
Here's one thing we do have to figure out sometime in the near future. It doesn't need to be tonight. And I might even listen to suggestions of what people might think.
Oh yeah.
What?
I can tell you one person that will not be eating this, and that's me.
I'll eat it.
Yeah, but you're not here, dude.
Send it.
When the night comes where the lady's got to do
Will
this,
your daughter eat it?
Mail it.
would she eat it? Yes. Would she be capable of it after this summer surgery?
Probably not.
I don't know if I want to push that on her like that.
Right.
But we'll think of something in the future here, but just something.
I'll
I don't know,
do it.
maybe I'll cross that and eat another one.
I'll do it.
Maybe.
Mickey, you just love that hot stuff. I got called out. I got to eat some banana bread hot pepper thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
You
me
see that
too.
Rampage reseller's wife makes banana bread.
That I know.
Well, she made banana bread and put hot. What kind of peppers? The hottest pepper in them.
yeah, the Reapers.
The
Carolina
Reapers.
Reaper.
Put Carolina Reapers in them,
Don't do it.
along with the.
Oh no,
Chop
he
them
got
up and
called
put them
out.
throughout the bear. She put 2 of them in for the eyes.
Don't do it.
Is it hotter than that thing we just ate?
No. It's hot, dude. I ain't gonna lie. Those bears were hot, but they're not that bad.
Hey, John.
Hey, John
Look
Wilson.
there. Bobby says if it comes down to it, she'll volunteer. That's an opportunity. That is an option. We'll see.
This
Send it
damn
to
cat
Robbie or Z-Dog.
wishes he was me. I just wish I had his fame.
We can't send it to anybody else. It needs it when the time comes where it gets.
You'll
guys
know when the
know-
time's right.
Right, when the time is right, it needs to be somebody that's here,
Yeah,
That
and
way
you'll know
it's
when
shared.
the time is.
and it'll be shared like it's supposed to be shared. We will have to have a substitute, but that's okay.
Iron Buns Armstrong.
Tracy Cake said she yeah.
She's no.
Tracy Cakes.
Tracy, I can't punish you like that.
I thought I was gonna lose old Rampage last night though.
Really?
Yes, sir. I just sent you the link to the video
Oh, from
last night.
Rampage.
okay. I got you.
Rampage's wife brought a bucket, a whole gallon of water, and a rag out
And a
with
roll of
her
paper towels.
for when he ate it, because she thought he was going to need it.
Yeah, but,
So did
but
I.
he supposedly he's a spicy food eater.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this: I was a spicy food eater before the heart condition, the medication, everything like that. Come on, I've eaten Carolina Reapers raw, and they're hot as hell.
Well, I tell you what, I was worried about you the night we ate the.
So was I. That's why I had a bucket here.
Yeah, I know you had yourself worked up a little bit about it too.
Yeah, but I also took a lot of precautions
It's
about it because
okay.
I'm not stupid.
I couldn't swallow. I still have that problem swallowing my pills.
I figured
I
never get over that.
I go to the doctor. I think next month to see him. I'm going to be like, "What's the deal?"
Yeah, can you fix my neck, please? Like you're supposed to have fixed my neck already.
Right.
Well, the neck's good. I can turn it both ways. It's the swallowing that's bad.
Well, it's a nerve thing, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You got like a gag reaction or some damn thing. I don't know.
What
I
are
mean,
you doing?
I'm no doctor. My doctors are a lot smarter than me. They figured out I need hip surgery without even looking at my hip. It's amazing.
Yeah, they
I'm not
went
sure how
to
they
that.
did it, but they did it. We'll see, Tracy. We'll talk when it gets to be that time. You got tornadoes down there again? Jeez. Can't they just turn that off for a little while, let people rest?
Yeah, it's been some crazy weather.
I was looking at my radar a little while ago when I was looking at the weather. It looks like there might be some weather coming here.
Wow.
Things are recently, I would not be surprised.
Hi, Lindsay.
Yeah, we got a little snow to our south, but that's all we got right now.
we got rain and we're not even supposed to be having it right now.
I'd take rain over what we got. Ugh. Yeah, I know you did. I know you did, Bobby. But my point is my doctors are so good at this that they've determined that I need a hip replacement without touching my hip, without scanning my hip. They've done no X-rays. They've done no CAT scans. They've done no MRI, and they haven't even take your pants off so we can look at your hip and how it moves. They've done nothing, but they say I need a hip replacement.
They know how to tell, though. I mean, they've been doing it a long time.
Oh yeah, there's a bad
Well, you got some stuff
weather
coming.
coming.
Yeah.
57 in the chat and only 36 thumbs up. Come on, folks, hit that thumbs up.
Really, one of them's me. Even come on. Well, that's the thing, though, Mickey. Usually, I know they know what they're doing, and they take an MRI or something similar to determine what the damage is and what you'd need.
Right.
Because I can't imagine they just blindly go in there, look at my hip, and go, "Whoops, I guess he didn't need it. Let's close him up."
No, they're going to go ahead and replace it while you're in there.
Well, right, whether you need it or not, here it comes. Yeah, no, I don't go that way. They're going to show me. Yeah, I got some friends that are out visiting Flagstaff right now, and they said it went from 70 to 20, and they got 6 inches of snow in like 4 hours.
18 foot of snow in 2 days.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, Carol, you're a little farther north in California, right? You're like more the like the Sacramento type area. Is that right? If I remember right? Because I don't know if you guys last week, if you had that rain like we had in the southern part of California, and it wasn't terribly torrential rain, but it was a steady light rain for 2 days. And the locals were like, "This is really weird." And I'm like, "Yeah, sunny California, my left nut."
Right.
I really was. I'm like, "Yeah, sunny. Yeah, okay." I wish I'd have taken more pictures, but I just didn't have my heart in it at the time. There was a lot of neat things to see.
I remember back growing up in the 70s, we would get 3, 4, 5 foot of snow
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
in a snowstorm last 2 days or something, you know?
Yeah. You'd be out
But
there
now
shoveling
it's
like
like-
8 times, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
We actually had so much snow the one time they had to fly in trucks from Colorado with those big snow blowers on them
Yeah.
to open the highway so that people could get through.
Yeah.
The plow trucks couldn't go through it.
Yep. Do you did you ever you lived where it snowed most of your life, right?
Oh yeah, right in the snow belt.
Okay. So
The snow's off of Lake Erie.
yeah. So I know, Mickey, you probably have never lived in the snow. I'm sure you've seen it, but never lived in it.
Well, I mean, other than our 10-year storm.
Right.
Right.
Not on a yearly basis. So in 1959, my parents have pictures of this. That the snow came so hard
Thank
that
you.
my dad had to climb out the second story window to get out of the house.
I've heard stories like that. Yeah.
They actually brought. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Nobody here.
I got you. I understand where you're at now, Carol. Yeah. But yeah, they showed me pictures of that where the snow was literally piled up on the side of the roads, 15 feet high.
Hi, Harry.
Man, this is like being in the mountains. Hey, Harry.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
We've had some doozies in my time, but not like that.
No, like I said,
In
4 or 5 foot's the most that I can remember, and the drifts up where the drifts come across the fields. I mean, we drove through there, and the snow was like 14-foot high walls of snow on both sides of the road. It was like a tunnel, you know.
Yep.
I think in either the late 70s, like 79, or early 80s, they had the circus was going by on I-95, and they had the elephants and stuff out pulling cars out the ditches.
I believe it.
They're
strong.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah. I can believe it.
Oh yeah.
And then the lions were there to finish off the passengers. No, just kidding.
Went from white snow to red.
Yeah. I still know. I still think about like what Miss Carol was saying earlier about the 8 feet of snow in the Sierra Nevada. When my buddy was out in Tahoe out there, and he says, "Yeah, we got 8 feet of snow or whatever it was overnight," and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
He says, yeah, yeah. I'm like, then I think about my best friend in high school. He went out elk hunting in Wyoming one time, and he said that they were out there in this big jacked up 4-wheel drive with a big trailer on it. And so they were out, it started to snow and they knew the snow was coming. So they had that big truck and they were going and going and going and going, trying to get back in time. And the truck got stuck. So they pulled the snowmobiles off the trailer and they got on the snowmobiles and they tried riding those and riding. They got stuck on snowmobiles.
Oh, yeah.
Snow.
Because
They had to
the snow was so-
helicopter them out. They had to come in with a helicopter and get them out.
Yeah, that's
I'm like,
crazy.
well, screw that. Hiya, Deb. Good to see you.
I don't know where they went.
They get that powder snow. It's hard for those snowmobiles to go when it's real, real deep. They just want to sink down in.
It's like marbles.
Yep.
Yeah.
I lived out there when I lived out in Minnesota, out in Apple Valley. I remember waking up one morning, and this was in the late 80s, early 90s when I lived out there. And one morning I woke up and I looked out the window, and I lived in a condo, and I had a sliding door, and the snow was like 2-3 foot up the door. I'm like, oh, that's not bad. Went to open the front door to go out of the building to go get the car, and couldn't open the front door because the snow was like 4 foot up.
Was that wouldn't have happened to have been November 1st, 1990, would it?
Very well could have been. I don't remember the exact time, but that's when I was out there.
Halloween night.
Yeah, it could have been.
Because we had a storm that hit here that night that dumped 3 inches of rain and then turned to snow.
Yep.
My wife and I were going to be going to her sister's out west. And we woke up in the morning, but she actually got stranded at my parents' house because we weren't married yet. But she got stranded at my parents' house, stayed overnight, got up the next morning, we're going to leave. We got as hard as top of that hill where you go up the freeway.
Right.
The police cars were in the ditch. We turned around and came home.
Wow.
But I remember that storm very well. Oh. Sorry, guys. I'm I'm just more processing, and it's kind of throwing me for an emotional loop.
Believe it or not, that's a good thing.
Yeah, no, probably true.
Yep.
But I am feeling the physical effects too. That I don't know how much longer I can sit here and Mickey gave me a hard time the other day. He says, "Well, try to look at something positive out of this. You've proved you can fly." So first of all, I didn't do nothing. The airplane flew. But more importantly than that, I was physically capable of getting on and off the plane. And I'm paying a heavy price. And I don't know if I would want to do that because literally if I flew to see you and I planned on staying there a week, I'd probably spend 4 of the 5 days in bed. And that's just not right. And it's not fair.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
No, you wouldn't. No, you
Okay. By my physical limitations, I would be in bed. By your standards, you'd be dragging my ass from one end of the country to the other, and
Yes, sir.
I would probably enjoy it.
We'll get you one of them rolly things, and we will roll, son.
Oh my god, that's hilarious! Yeah, I remember that. Yep, we were in we were in Michigan that time, Bobby. And Bobby's talking about the snowstorm that came a couple of years ago here. There was so much snow that came through the Green Bay area that the hotel that they were staying at collapsed.
Wow.
Yeah, we drove right by it. And we saw it. We were way up in northern Michigan, and we were so far north that we barely got hardly any snow at all where we were at. But the farther south we drove, it got to the point where the snowplows were in the ditch and the power was out. We couldn't even get fuel.
Motorized wheelchair racing.
Yeah, we'd probably get into that. Yeah, I could go out and make good money doing snow removal around here because I got Brutus and that thing could do a number on things. But it's even that thing is hard for me to maneuver around as big and strong as he is.
Really? What kind is it?
It's a Poulon. It's got a 38-inch cut, like a 15 horse engine on it. When everybody
Nice.
else's snowblowers is trying to throw the slush and they get all clogged up in the chute and everything like that, yeah, mine will chuck it over my carport into that parking lot from my driveway.
That's a good thing. Get it out of your yard.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, give it to the neighbors.
Heck yeah. Here, have some more. You just shoveled.
Yep. Brutus is strong, man. He takes care of the job. My son was out here running it, and my sister-in-law ran it for a little bit. She's like, holy. She couldn't believe it. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's why I bought it.
Right.
So that's why it's called Brutus. Oh, nuts. Hey,
Well,
guys.
y'all go ahead and write this down. Whenever me and Troy get together, at least for the first 4 or 5 days, there's gonna be no videos. Okay, we don't got time.
No, hell no.
There's not gonna be any videos. Y'all might see a picture, but dang a video.
But it'll the first video you see will be being handcuffed.
Yes, you'll see them being handcuffed and they'll put one in the police car while the other one crawls out the other side.
I was gonna say they're gonna have to take turns. They're not gonna be able to use a police car. No.
They might as well go ahead and get the paddy wagon.
Bring the paddy wagon.
I was thinking the bread truck, but that's
Exactly.
There's no evidence there. That's right.
it'll be fun, man. We're gonna have a great time. It's yeah, it'll be interesting. I'll tell you that.
Like I said, no video footage.
Danny.
Balapalooza.
Right?
That's very true.
Oh,
Excuse me. Oh, I'm getting very tired, and I got a long day ahead of me tomorrow. You know what that means, don't you?
I think he's going to be
You're
a
a pumpkin.
pumpkin. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest parts for me to do with all this has nothing to do directly with me, believe it or not. My dog has finally started to figure out what's going on with all the extra people here, not seeing Mama for, well, it's almost 2 weeks now. And I think it's finally starting to set in on him what's going on. Yeah, yep. So in will make t-shirts for Ut.
Right?
Her hickabonics from up there in
No. I'm telling you right now, that's from her visiting the IKEA store. She's starting to speak Swedish.
I think so. You got a little mix of German in there too. Might be a touch of Italian also.
Just that leather touch.
Yep.
But good. Hannah made it back home. That's good to hear. So he usually would be one to sleep by her under her blanket and everything like that, and he ain't having that. He can't sleep under her blanket alone. So he sleeps on my bad hip.
Oh, geez.
Well, maybe Scooby told the doctor it was bad.
Yeah, there you go. Dogs can sense stuff.
Yeah, well, that's true. Oh my God. But yeah, it's I know he's dealing with it too. And he's doing, as well as the dog can understand it, I guess, but he misses her. And I know we all do too. And I'm sure y'all do too, because she's wonderful. We're going to make sure she gets sent out right.
How's your daughter doing?
She is tough. She's tough like her. She is tough like her. She's had her moments where she struggled, but she's been there just as much to hold me up as I have been for her, which is pretty damn commendable for somebody that has gone through what she has with all this. And she wasn't even able to be there by her
Right.
side, because of what
Right.
happened. Yeah, I give her a lot of credit for she grew up real fast overnight. Of course, my son, he's a stubborn old son of a unnamed goat, just like me. So he's tough.
Right.
He literally is. He says, "Dad, you can't win this fight. I'm as stubborn as you are." I said, "Wrong. I got 20 more years experience than you do. I don't lose." He goes, "All right, Dad, you got it."
Right?
Hey, there's another silver lining to this. There really is. And one of the things that I've talked to you guys about, and one of the things I've told everybody about, generally speaking, is if you really want to give somebody a gift, give them the gift of your time. That is what's more important than anything, because I can go out and buy my wife a brand new necklace. I can go out and buy my son a brand new car if something happens to it. I can go out and get something for myself if I really want it. But the reality is you cannot give time. You can't buy more time. You can't go back and redo time. And my son has told me that he intends to be over here at least once a week to see the old man, to make sure that he's okay. If I got a project I need help with, stuff like that. And while we have a tragedy on our hands and are dealing with that, we've all maybe come a little bit closer.
I did not do anything to you.
The brats
It was
are
me.
home.
I did it.
The brats are back.
Yeah, but it's my family is becoming closer. My children have seen the tragedy, yet we could still see triumph come out of it, and we plan to. Now, what that entails, I don't know. We've all gone through our steps of everything, of whether it was selling the house and moving to an apartment so I have less to do, or maybe moving, somewhere else to start a new chapter, or buying a motorhome and traveling until I can't travel anymore. Stuff like that has all been thrown around, and I don't know which one's going to happen. Nobody does.
Right.
When the time is right for a decision to be made, and I've got a lot of things to think about as far as my mom, my daughter, my brother, my the rest of my family. One of the things my sister-in-law said to me, she says, "Well, you better not move too damn far, or I can't come and see you." Thank you, Christy. Love you too. My son said the same thing. He says, "Well, if you moved to like something that was like St. Louis distance away, not necessarily St. Louis, but in that 8-hour window, he says I could make a, hey, it's Friday. I think I'm going to go see Dad." And he could make a trip out of it and not have to drive for 15 hours straight one way.
Right.
And I get that. I understand. And it makes sense. But at the same token, she did. She did, Anna, and she had it on the inside, too. She really did. That thought was also running across the table a couple of times there, Kate. Christy, we've talked about that, too. There's a million things for us to decide, as if my daughter is going to come with me and be my new tag team partner for videos and business and all these things. Because if my channel is going to continue, I'm going to need her.
Right.
There's talk about her helping to take care of my mom in her later years. There's a lot of different talk, but right now it's all just talk. Who knows? Maybe I ain't going to go nowhere. Maybe I'm going to stay right here, freeze my ass off, and enjoy all of you. Well, no.
Take your time with your decision.
Yeah. So I do think for my medical reasons, someplace warm would be a lot more beneficial to me. That's a reality. But
It very well could be, yes.
And we've talked about that before. We've talked about that a lot in the past. Thanks, Deb. I appreciate you. Yeah, we've talked about that because like one lady my wife was talking to one day on the phone had a very similar situation. When she moved south, a lot of her issues left. That would be nice. I'd like that.
Right.
Mhm. And as much as I don't, I don't want to be selfish and think about my children and think about my mother and think about my family and all these other things. Sometimes I have to be selfish and think about myself. It's a reality. We all have to. And I've learned this because of my wife that no matter how much of yourself that you give to others, if you give so much that you're not giving to yourself, eventually you're not going to be any good to anybody. And you've really cheated yourself and them.
That's a
So
very
you
true
have to
statement.
be number one in your own book. Just don't step in number two.
Because you might slip.
That's right. Yeah, we do. We do. And I spent so many years trying so hard to put so many things, food on the table, roof over the head, my wife's well being in the forefront before mine. You know, that's okay. I don't need to have the medicine. You have the medicine. That kind of thing. And yeah, right, exactly. When you get on the perfect example, Lori pays attention. I know. Trust me, I know, Mickey. That came up too. Lori puts it right there. You put your oxygen mask on first, then you help
Uh
others.
oh. There he is.
Oh, what's oh?
You froze for a minute.
It ain't that cold.
It might be. Right.
I probably got a wire that's loose because everything's been jostled around in this room. My sister-in-law stayed here since Monday, and there's a lot of things that got moved around. So it'll. I'm sure once I get things reacquainted and reconnected, and everything will be fine. So whatever.
Yeah, Deb, I understand what you're saying. I mean, Christy and I have talked about having a place here for half the year and having a place down south for the other half, just because when we are down there, when it's cold up here, our bodies feel so much better.
We've talked about that too.
But then the problem with that is you got to worry about heartless assholes tearing your stuff up while you're not there.
Not to mention, if you watch the Hales video,
No,
you saw what happened to their campers. Well, you didn't, but bugs.
I heard
the
it was
power went
molded,
out.
though.
Yeah,
It got bad.
that power plug that goes on your camper, theirs started on fire when they were gone, and everything in their camper turned to mold, and they had nasty everywhere.
Yep.
So there's that. You need somebody there to take care of things.
Yeah, in the South, you got to keep your air conditioning and heating systems on because humidity will ruin everything. They
Right.
found that out in one of the schools during spring break down here. They turned the power off so the school, wasn't using the electricity. They only left the cafeteria part on, and the whole school grew mold in a week.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And then
Yep.
then they had to shut the school down for a month to fix the problems.
But they saved the nickel.
Yeah, really.
They
That's
spent the
ridiculous.
dollar, but they saved the nickel.
Yep.
And that's the thing, is you really need somebody to take care of that stuff for you. And that's why like my son has told me pretty clearly that he likes it here. He's happy with his job here. He's happy with his life here. He doesn't mind the cold weather. He likes the season changes. So in the event that I did something like that, I would probably leave him to tend to my house here while I was down there. He's even offered, in theory, to buy our house if I do decide that maybe moving would be better for me. He says, "Well, yeah, Dad, the house needs work." And I'm like, "Yeah, the house needs work. You're right." And I would think that I would put it at a fair market value where it would include the ability for him to fix it the way he wants it, make it the way he wants it.
Right.
That way he doesn't get in over his head and he's still able to take care of business and have a nice house.
Sure.
Because my house isn't bad, just needs a little touch up. And I'm just not capable of doing it. He is.
Your house isn't bad at all. My goodness.
No, but like the flooring needs to be redone. Needs some paint in a room or two, stuff like that. The bathroom needs to be redone. Whatever.
That happens.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's just age. That's all.
Yep.
The bones are good. The structure's good. The lot is good. Everything's here to just put your finishing touches on.
I like your little lot though. Your
The
lot's
way
nice.
it's set up is nice.
Yes.
We put a lot of thought and a lot of work into it, and it's good for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come in.
What was that? Where'd
That
that
was
go?
It was me. I'm sorry. Yeah. Dude, speaking of something like that, somebody dropped a bomb on the plane one day.
Oh no.
So here's a question for you, those of you that travel. Here's one for you. This one came up. So you go to the airport and they make you wear a mask. Okay, fine. And they still have the circles on the ground to keep you 6 feet apart for COVID reasons. You know, social distancing. Make sure you stay spread out to reduce the amount of COVID spread. And then you get on the plane.
And you can be elbow to elbow.
They fill every seat, don't they?
They sure try.
Yeah.
So I ask you the question, if you social distance in the airport but not on the plane, is it going to help? Not really. Well, we filter the air 4 times a minute on the plane. Great. You can spread it to everybody faster. You know? I always like to use the analogy of cordwood, but yes, sardines works.
Yeah, they stack you in there like cordwood.
Exactly. You know,
Yep.
man. Yeah, they do. And, I understand why yeah. Well, right. As soon as you sit down, you can take the mask off because the COVID doesn't travel at this level, only at this level. At the same token, why are you going into a restaurant if you got to shove the food through your mask?
Yeah.
But you can't get COVID at the bar either.
No. Or
No
a concert.
COVID.
Or a
No
concert.
COVID there. Yeah.
No color to the concert. And we ran into some very different rules when we were out there. Here, I can go into the Walmart. I don't need to wear a mask. And I'm okay with that because if I'm in a bigger place like that, I can distance myself.
Right.
And I'm comfortable with that. I'm okay. Somebody starts coughing, the first thing everybody does is run. If I go to a restaurant, like you said, it really doesn't make any damn difference if I wear it to 30 feet from the door or not. It isn't going to matter. And we don't have to here for most places. Some choose to have you do it, and that's their choice, and that's fine, and I'll do it.
Right.
But out there, if you step foot inside of a building, you have to wear a mask, period. However, and here's another one that makes no sense to me. When I went into the hospital for the very first time, I was wearing a cloth mask. And they told me that I could not wear that mask in there because that mask was not particulate safe. Fair. So they gave me one of those paper ones, those yellow paper ones. And they said, here, wear this. Okay, fair enough. I said, but I've got other masks with me. And they said, well, you'll have to see what they look like. These are brand new medical grade masks that my wife got. They have the particulate liner and they have a cloth exterior. And they told me those weren't good enough because they didn't have the particulate. I said, yes, they do on the inside. Look at it. Well, we don't count that. I said, so let me get this straight. The paper one that you have is a particulate mask, and that stops the particulates. But the one that I have that has a particulate on the inside and the cloth on the outside does not.
Wow.
Then the employees come in, including the doctors and nurses that are taking care of your loved one, and they wear cloth masks.
Yep.
And half the time, and I watched them do it for 2 days, is they take the mask off when they're sitting at their desk, 10 feet from the door. And they have them off for hours, and they don't do anything. And I'm like, well, now, here's my problem is if you want to enforce rules, fine. We'll abide by your rules. But don't have a double standard for the people that work there versus the people that are visiting there.
Right.
And I said something to them, which is part of the reason that they were ready to kick me out. and it was very frustrating. I'm like, I will follow you. I wore the thing when I slept in the chair, which wasn't for more than like an hour, but I wore it when I slept. I wore it. They wouldn't let me eat in her room. Okay. Now you'll love this. So you can't eat in the room. Okay, fine. I'll go to the cafeteria and eat. Sorry, the cafeteria is for the staff only to reduce their risk to COVID. Okay, where do I eat? Not our problem. So my family had to bring me food and I had to sit outside and eat it. Okay, fine. Then you go back into the ICU and the nurses have their lunch at their desk,
Right.
10 feet from the room. I'm
I don't
very,
make
very, very confused.
Yeah.
I'm very confused. Again, I don't mind following whatever rules they have, because I know it's for the greater good of everybody and it's for the safety of everybody. And I'm on board with that. But you can't tell me you expect me to be safer when you're not being safer yourself.
Right.
That makes you a hypocrite. And they didn't understand why I got upset.
See, I'd had to walk out there and cough on their food.
I thought about it more than once. Take your time, Doug. Yeah, it's a different world out there, man. I've been in California several times. But nowadays, especially with the COVID and all the other things that are going on that are crazy in this world, they live by a different set of rules out there. And to
Yeah.
be completely honest with you, I'll be happy if I never set foot in that state again. But it is what it is.
That's right.
Now, Ohio, on the other hand, I like Ohio. I've never been to South Carolina yet, but I can promise you that there's a lot of good in that state.
As long as you stay away from Ruffin, South Carolina, you'll be okay.
Trouble in Ruffin, man.
If you go to Ruffin, you're in trouble, man.
There's a road right up the road for me. It's like a quarter of a mile. It's called Scuffletown. So as long as you stay away from Scuffletown, you're good, man. Scuffletown and Ruffin, you think of it. Figure it out.
Sounds like Scuffin Town. I don't know. I've had more scuffs on my body than you can imagine.
Right?
I actually look at that as a challenge.
There you go.
Is that where we're going to jail the first time? Maybe.
We'll figure something out to do if it ain't nothing but cook in the front yard.
And so in South Carolina, trouble find you. I ain't waiting around for that to happen, man. Bring it on, boys.
Not in this yard. Trouble don't find you.
No, I know. You got the doorbell taking care of that. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point, Lori, that they're still building the plane while it's flying across country. Yeah, rules are being made on the fly, and you're right, they are. But when you look at two different people in two different aspects of the same place, and they fit two different roles, and you don't have the same rules in place for the two different people. Like, I'm no more dangerous to the patients and staff in that building than the staff. Okay. And you could say, well, they're staff and they've been vaccinated. So have I. Well, yeah, but they get tested. So do I. Yeah, well, they wash their hands 12 times a day. So do I. Yeah. And you honestly, it's like the teacher telling the kids, you're not allowed to have bubble gum in my class. Bring it up here and I will dispose of it properly. No. You can't do it. No.
Wow.
Hey, there's Nightmare's Treasures. Hey, what's up, James?
Hey, James, how you doing? They got a good unit there.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't sat down much.
I understand you've been pretty busy.
Yeah, well, I ain't kidding you. The family members came over and they just, well, here, what needs to be done? I'm like, well, here's the pictures we need to go through for her memory wall and stuff. And they ripped 30 boxes out of that closet and just tore them all down, and reorganized them all. And there was some in there like you couldn't, like the picture was so poor that it's like we could tell the kids were in a concert, but you couldn't see anything except for the backs of the heads of the people in front of you. They sorted all that out. Oh, excuse me, burping up a storm. So they sorted all that out and they got them all put back away. And I was like, wow, that was cool. There's a lot of stuff that my wife had, that like things that her mom had. And I asked my sister-in-law straight out. I said, are these things that mean things to you? Because if they are, you take them. The old
Right.
porcelain dolls and things. And she says, no, these were ones that all the important ones are over here in this thing. You've seen that before. You remember that over in the corner there. And
Yeah.
all the stuff that's over here in the closet didn't mean anything to any of them. In fact, Michelle said she planned on selling them. So they're all getting taken care of. You know, they did a lot of good work for me. And it's appreciated. I'd never done it alone. Look, my no hands.
Good night, Deb.
Thanks for being here, Deb. We appreciate you. Well, guys, I'm glad I came on, and I'm glad you allowed me to share some time with you guys. And
Hey, you don't have to say that. You're part of the family.
I know, but you also entertained me to tell my stories. And
Well, we wanted to hear your stories. Your stories were good.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, you know about it, Tracy. You know about it. There's a lot of story to tell. Yeah, there is, and I got a lot more that hopefully one day be able to be told. Good night, Brenda. I don't know when that'll be.
And good night, Brenda.
You know, there's a lot of stories that I do share, and I've told about how we met and all the shit we've gone through over the years. Excuse my language, I apologize, but all the things that we've gone through and all the challenges and all the triumphs and all the things that we've done. You know, Mickey and I were talking about some things last night, and there's so much more to this with her and I that people don't know, which is why things are so difficult for me to try to process. It's I know poor Mickey got a taste of it last night, and I appreciate you for that, brother. It's going to be a long road, gang. It's going to be a long road.
That's all right. You do the driving, man. I'll mash the brake and hit the gas. For you.
Brake? What the hell we need a brake for?
Well, all right. You control the pedals. I'll steer. How about that?
I figure we just mash the pedal and see where we end up.
I'm with you. We'll ride. Let's go.
Yeah, it's good stuff. You know, it's good stuff. It is. You know, there's you know, here's the thing, gang, is I'll tell it like I told Mickey a little bit last night. Not in so many words, but to give you an idea of what I mean. Thanks, Kathy. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Before I had her in my life, I was alone. You know, granted, I had family, you know, my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, everything like that. I did have family in my life, but I was alone. You know, I always felt like I had unique challenges. Some of them were just me being a teenager, stuff like that. You know, there was a lot of dark demons that I was fighting at that time, a lot of bad things in my life. And I met her, and I was on a road that I didn't see an end to. There was literally a brick wall that I was running up on as fast as you could go. And she made things different in my world. She changed my outlook on a lot of things. She literally saved me from myself. She really did, because the path of destruction I was on, I was done. I would have lived 5 more years tops. Reality. And at that point, when she did that, and she gave herself, and I gave myself to become what we were. It no longer was my stuff and her stuff. It was our stuff. Not every stuff, not lots of stuff, but it was ours. And it's been ours for so long that I am looking for a way to separate it again. Because when she left me, she took it all with, you know. And there is a way for me to find that again. I just got to do it. And to be honest with you, it is something that I have to do on my own. Because in order for me to survive on my own, I have to get through the challenge on my own. I have to.
Right.
That's the way it's going to be. You know, it's where I have to be able to stand on my own 2 feet and rebuild what I have without her. And that's just the way it is. But if I don't tackle this alone, if I don't fight this alone, I'm not going to be able to live on my own. I hope that makes sense. As much as I love and care about everybody offering what they're offering, especially these two guys and their significant others. And my fingers right. For God's sakes, I can't bend my arm that way. I'll do it this way. There. Is that better?
There you go.
Okay.
Careful where you're poking that, buddy.
You love it.
They pay him a little in.
You're terrible at this. Yeah, you know that. It's so hard to put into. Yeah, I know she is. I know she is. Now next week when she's here again, it'll be maybe a little bit easier for me. Then I know she's home. She's safe. But ultimately, it has to be something that I do challenge myself to do on my own. It has to be. It has to be. I know everybody says, well, you don't need to fight these battles alone. You can call on your family. You can call on your friends. You can call. You know, we have so many people that so many lives touched ours over the years that we love and care about so much. But ultimately, when it came down to it, and you guys think about this long and hard, when it comes down to it, it's the two of you against the world. It really is. You've got allies everywhere you go. You touch lives and make differences in people's lives, and you really do. But when it came down to it, and I had to look for my closest best friend that was always going to be by my side, it was her and her alone. And now that she's gone, I have to do this alone. I have to. And I will. I will. If nothing else, I've got the joy of knowing that I can punish you people a little bit more, a little bit longer by seeing this face every day.
It's
good.
better than seeing that face.
That one makes me smile every day. That one makes me smile all the time. This one scares the hell out of me.
Stay
Don't look in the mirror.
Oh, I tried and the mirror left. It ran.
It ran away.
Legs and take off so fast.
Poor little man.
Yeah, and that, Mom, you got a good point. When the time is right, when the need is there, and when my battles are won, is when I'll find my friends and when they'll be there for me when I need them. When that happens, it'll happen. It needs to be there. It will happen. But round one is mine. The hell was that guy? Yeah, it'll be mine, and I will take it. We'll find a way. But I must get out of this chair. If you guys are going to continue with the evening, I will bow out, appreciatively.
Kathy, that's correct. We look forward to seeing that ugly mug.
I talk too much. I got a funny looking thing going on in my head. Oh, good Lord. Hey, she gave me a lot of guidance throughout the last 34 years. And I think it'll be okay, but I just get to that point. So bear with me. In the meantime, I don't think I'm going to put any videos up. I can't do this unless my heart is in it. Right now, it isn't. Thank you, Sandra.
You need to take your time that you need.
Yeah.
When it's time, you'll come back with a vengeance.
No, I ran out of those last week, and I haven't been to the store.
It'll come back.
We'll have to substitute with bananas. Is that okay?
As long as it's not the fiery banana bread.
The monkeys will be well fed. Talk about monkeys. Oh my goodness, did we find monkeys today?
Really?
Wait
Were
till
you in
you
South
see 'em.
Carolina?
Oh, no, I didn't go to South Carolina. I
What about
found
us in
monkeys
South
though.
Carolina?
I found one of the ugliest looking monkeys I ever seen.
I have my name on it. I still got mine. I still like this one. I really do. I love this one. It's awesome. Although he doesn't hold his banana very well. He likes to drop the banana. Thanks, Dimples. Appreciate you. Okay. I'm going to go away. I got to
There
go
you
get
go.
my
Mickey,
dog.
you have anything else to add this evening?
No, sir. I'm great.
I think we'll go ahead and
I'm a happy man. I got to see my brother's smiling faces.
yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Thank you.
As it is our custom or our tradition, and what we like to do when we end the evening together or the day together, we'd like to say a prayer. So if it's your custom, bow your heads. I'll go ahead and say it. Is that good?
Yes, sir.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for allowing our family to come together as we do. And thank you for Brother Troy being here. We ask that you continue to wrap your arms around him and his family as they go through these dealing with their loss. Squeeze them tight for us. We love them lots. We ask that you help those that need your healing touch. Lay your hands upon them. Help them heal. Help them overcome their injuries, their illnesses, their sicknesses, whatever they have. Lord, we ask that you watch over those that are out defending our country so that we can do the things we do and meet like this, bring our family together like this. In your name we ask all this. Amen.
The only other thing is the cookie season starts January 1st.
Cookie season, January 1st.
Cookie season, January 1st, everybody.
I look forward to tossing them.
Lots of them, yes.
Tossing them, yes.
Are we going to be able to order them and have them shipped, or what's that? You'll have to let us know.
You can order them online like the candy was.
Okay.
Cool.
That'll be cool. We love you all. Thank you all for being here.